Hey guys, JJ back this time to give you a free pick for April 25th. It's going to be Phillies versus the Marlins. Seeing the line right now, Phillies minus 192, total 7.5. Game's going to be played 7:05 Eastern Standard Time. As some of you may know, I work part-time, part-time now, as a lead technologist slash data center architect in New York City. I used to do this full-time, but once sports betting became legal in New Jersey, shortly after I switched to part-time to focus more on sports betting. So I am highly certified in network security, so I can be quite lethal with a keyboard in front of me. It is a passion of mine, so rather than just give it up, I still do it part-time with the bulk of my efforts still focused on finding edges in the sports betting market. And as you guys may also know, that my dad's done this full-time for over 25 years. And I could quit my job tomorrow, but I would myself would feel like I have a void in my life. These are two passions of mine: network security slash data center work, and of course sports betting. So I get the best of both worlds that way. Why it's relevant here is because it's story time yet again. So one of the admin assistants called out sick today, saying that she's been diagnosed with pink eye in not just one eye, but both eyes. Now I'm not sure if many of you realize just how difficult or rare this scenario is. It's tough enough just to get pink eye in one eye, let alone two. This would be very similar to you running up a hill, tripping, breaking your left ankle, getting up, hobbling up that same hill, tripping again, and breaking your right ankle. So I read this email this morning and it had me thinking, there's only one way that you can get pink eye in both eyes. I'll pause for a second to let you guys think about it. Now, I'm no doctor, but this is a ring where I have experience in. The only way you can get pink eye in both eyes is if you eat ass. So clearly, this chick is tossing salads as soon as she gets home. Now that's something, honestly, that's something I can respect. She's been married 10 plus years to the same guy, yet still finds pleasure into going into the deep unknown. I'll talk further with her on this when she returns, but I must say I have a true newfound respect for her and what her personal life is like. On to the game here. The play is going to be under 7.5. We'll start with the weather report like we typically try to do here. It's expected to be about 60 degrees with mild wind, so no true warm weather in Philly. And that's what you kind of worry about. That Philly stadium, when it's warm, that ball just carries. When you see a total like 7.5 here, could be a little scary, but not tomorrow. It's not going to be super warm there. What sticks out the most to me about these two teams is how much they're both struggling to score, especially recently. Let's start with the Phillies, who had 4 runs tonight versus the Mets. And if you include tonight, Philly has scored 4 runs twice in their last 8 games. They've scored less than 3 runs in half of those games. This team is really struggling with their bats despite all the big names in their lineup. Now, Miami has had similar woes recently, as they've scored over 3 runs twice in their last 14 games. And once in their last 9 games. This team is clearly struggling to plate runs and now draws Aaron Nola. Now, Aaron Nola's been struggling recently, but this is certainly a right-the-ship spot for him against a struggling Marlins team. I like him to pitch really well here and get back on track. Now, I know that's not saying much, but if you look at his ERA and look at how he's been pitching in the past, you might think a little differently, but again, this is a good right-the-ship spot for him. Now, Caleb Smith is pitching for the Marlins, who's always had filthy stuff. I'm not sure if you guys have followed him for the last few years, but now he finally seems to have gotten it together, has an ERA in the 2s. He tends to struggle on the road with walks, and obviously he's going to be on the road here. But in his lone road start against the Braves, he pitched fairly well and only had 2 walks in that start. His kind of figuring it out this year reminds me a lot of Luis Castillo, who's also pitching tomorrow, by the way. Both of them have really good stuff, but their ERAs have been inflated since they've come up into the league. So, but here they've pitched much better this year, and they're both off to great starts. And Smith gets a struggling Phillies team here, who he just blanketed a few weeks back. What we have here is 2 teams struggling to plate runs, going against their opponent's top arms. I like the Stars to be able to keep runs to a minimum here, along with those bats relatively staying quiet. Obviously, look, anything could happen, and you could argue that 7.5 is a low total for a game played in Philly, especially with Nola's struggles and with Caleb Smith's road woes. But again, these teams aren't hitting. I can't imagine you would predict them to all of a sudden magically find their bats tomorrow, at least consistently. So again, it's not just the good arms, it's the struggling bats as well. The play here is Philly under 7.5. I want to thank you guys for watching as always. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. If you did like the video, as always, thumbs up. And feel free to drop more comments below. I like interacting with you guys. I'm going to try to get you a tennis play for tonight, but if not, I will post on the Twitter. Give you another winner in tennis today. So I will. Again, if I don't do it there, definitely follow me on Twitter. It's at Uncle Dunkle. The exact name is in the description, so follow me there as well. But other than that, again, thank you guys for everything. Drop any comments below. I'll be happy to respond, and I'll be back soon with another video.